Hey everyone, Greg Lawless and Simon Borg breaking down the quarterfinals of the CONCACAF Champions League. The draw took place on Tuesday here in New York, and one of them that came out, an all-MLS affair, Toronto FC and the LA Galaxy. Of course, the Galaxy winning their group, Toronto FC coming in second after beating FC Dallas on the final day of group play. Simon, this is a really sort of interesting draw, isn't it?
It is, because you have the champions of the U.S. in the Galaxy and the champions of Canada in Toronto. But in league play in 2011, we saw there's a huge gap between these two teams on the field, at least. But going into this two-leg series, I think Toronto might have a psychological edge, especially because they host the first game in Toronto in the cold. We'll see if they'll play indoor in Toronto. But Toronto will be a very different team. They will have a very different look, I think, from 2011.
Well, Toronto in 2011 actually started to pick it up toward the second half of the season, and so the last 2 months they seemed rejuvenated, and part of that I think was the ability to move on in CONCACAF Champions League.
Yeah, that was clearly a motivator, and the fact that their two DPs, Torsten Frink, Danny Koevermans, were regular fixtures in the lineup, and they really lifted this team as the season went on. They'll be there in March for this one, but I think a host of other new players will be there as well. So for Bruce Arena and the LA Galaxy, do they have enough time to scout what Toronto is going to do in this series? That might prove to be a wild card for Toronto.
You have to think that the LA Galaxy may not be that changed. However, there is one question mark about one of their big stars.
And an absolutely key star. It's David Beckham. We know what a difference he makes on this team. 15 assists in 2011, and he brings so much to that midfield. A lot of work rate as well, which goes unnoticed. So the Galaxy, especially with some older players, Robbie Keane, what form will he be in March, given all the off-season that's coming up? So a lot of question marks still with Galaxy.
Well, the first leg between Toronto and LA will take place sometime between March 6th and March 8th, 2012. Toronto FC actually coming out and saying that they will either play that at BMO Field, or if it's too cold, maybe too much snow, they might play it indoors at the Rogers Center of all places. The second leg will be back in Los Angeles between March 13th and March 15th, 2012.